Have you ever gone to use a semicolon in one of your sentences and you weren't sure if you were using it correctly? Well, you've come to the right video. My name is Megan and I'm a reading and writing tutor with Principia, Tutors, and Consultants. And today we will be demystifying semicolons by going over two of the most common ways that they are used. One of the most common ways semicolons are used is to connect two related independent clauses. If you're like, oh my goodness, I'm already lost, I don't know what an independent clause is, no worries. An independent clause contains a subject and a verb, and it expresses a complete thought. So for example, Alexia went to the grocery store for a snack. Right here, we have Alexia as our subject and went as our verb, and it expresses a complete thought. So here we have one independent clause. Maybe we wanted to write another independent clause. So we write, unfortunately, the store was out of mint ice cream, which was her favorite. And here we have store working as our subject and was as our verb. And these two independent clauses are pretty connected content-wise because we have Alexia and then the grocery store. And so we might want to connect them with a semicolon. If we do end up combining them together with a semicolon, they look like this. Alexia went to the grocery store for a snack, semicolon. Unfortunately, the store was out of mint ice cream, which was her favorite. Now we have our two independent clauses and we're putting them together with a semicolon, and we don't need to capitalize, unfortunately. Those are all the changes that we need to make. Now I'm going to give you a couple examples where semicolons are used incorrectly. And after I give you the sentence, take a moment and pause the video and see what might be wrong with it. So for our first sentence, we have, while walking his dog, semicolon, Oscar found a 4-leaf clover. What might be wrong with this sentence? So the issue that I hope you noted is that while walking his dog isn't an independent clause. Oscar found a 4-leaf clover is. We have Oscar as our subject and found as our verb. However, the phrase while walking his dog can't stand on its own. Pause the video and see what changes you could make so that you could use a semicolon here. How I decided to fix this sentence was to add another independent clause. So we still have Oscar as our subject and found as our verb. And then we have a semicolon, and then we go into our other independent clause. Dog is working as our subject and A is our verb. So now we have two independent clauses, which means we can connect them with a semicolon. Our next sentence that uses a semicolon incorrectly is this one. It reads, Margot hates birthday parties, semicolon, and she avoids them at all costs. Pause the video and see what might be wrong with using a semicolon here. So the issue with this sentence is that we don't need a conjunction when we're combining two independent clauses with a semicolon. So an easy way that we can fix that is just by removing it. We could then just change it to Margot hates birthday parties, semicolon, she avoids them at all costs. So that's an easy way to correct this error. Another way we use semicolons is to separate items in a list if those items already have commas. So if we look right away at our example, we have Celeste's favorite vacation spots are Savannah, Georgia, semicolon, Los Angeles, California, semicolon, and Boston, Massachusetts. Now we have a city and then a state. So when we have those together, we use a comma between them. And if we were to just use commas throughout this entire list, it would look like this. And this actually also alters the meaning of the sentence. Now it means Celeste's favorite vacation spots are Savannah and Georgia and Los Angeles and California and then Boston, Massachusetts. And maybe Celeste likes to vacation in all of Georgia, but that's not quite what we're saying in the sentence here. So using semicolons makes sure that we are communicating effectively and are precise in our language. Now I'm going to give you another sentence and you're going to have to look at it and see how you are going to fix the punctuation in it. So the sentence we have is Jonathan's siblings were born on August 3rd, 2003, February 2nd, 2005, and November 28th, 2006. Pause the video and see what is wrong with this sentence. As you probably know, we're going to use semicolons to demarcate each of the years. So now we have Jonathan's siblings were born on August 3rd, 2003, semicolon, February 2nd, 2005, semicolon, and November 28th, 2006. So this just makes the dates very clear, and we always want to aim for clarity in our sentences. In review, we learned two different ways to use semicolons. The first is to connect two related independent clauses, like we did with our Alexia example. The second is to use a semicolon to separate items in a list if those items already have commas, like we did with Celeste's vacation spot example. Now you're ready to use semicolons confidently.